It continues to amaze me that Bittensor is still trading under $1,000. We have some of the largest financial institutions and venture capitalists that are talking about Bittensor. And so we have multiple clips showing that where they think this is heading, as it is one of the largest AI cryptocurrencies out there. I'm going to be going over why it is important to own at least 10 Bittensor tokens. And so if you enjoy this video, do me a favor and hit the like button, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will become a subscriber. And so let's go ahead and jump into the chart here. Taking a look at this, we can see we had a massive move back towards the end of 2023, pushing Bittensor all the way from about $50 all the way up to about $775. Since then, we have been consolidating over the last year and a half here. And we're getting very close to a break to the upside. We have some catalysts coming up that are going to push the price of Bittensor much higher. And so if you're interested in trading Bittensor, you can check out the link underneath the video to Weex exchange. They have spot and futures trading on here, currently at $376. If we go ahead and take a look at some of the upcoming catalysts here, the biggest one here is going to be the Bittensor halving. This is very similar to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has 21 million tokens that are ever going to exist. Same with Bittensor. They have 21 million tokens. They also have halvings as well. And so the first halving for this token is coming up in less than 60 days. With a circulating supply right around 10 million tokens right now, the first halving is going to be at 10.5 million tokens with a total supply of 21 million. And so what does this mean here? Today there is 7,200 TAO tokens emitted daily. This will cut in half to 3,600 TAO after the first halving. And so this is estimated to happen around December 10th. And this is very bullish in my opinion. Let's go ahead and take a look at this video clip here of venture capitalists talking about Bittensor.
What is the ROI of a random use of a model? And I think that that is a very good question. How many of those tokens are generally gross margin negative? How many of those are unprofitable? How many of those are profitable? And I think that's what they're trying to ask when they ask that question. They may just not know the technical intricacies to ask it that way. But I think that's what people are trying to debate when they're trying to guess. And I don't think we totally yet know.
And just two things I wanted to add here. There are other solutions which have not yet hit the ground. I mentioned Bittensor. I think it's an open source project that's worth looking into. I started a little fund of my own with my own capital to start exploring this, because there are going to be other solutions that come to fill all of this Jevons paradox that's happening.
And so we can see there they are mentioning Bittensor. They're talking about projects that have a lot of potential moving forward. We have Bittensor subnets now generating revenue as well, and so that's very bullish. We're going to be talking about that throughout this video. And so in addition to this, Grayscale has just filed a Form 10 for Grayscale Bittensor Trust, the first step toward becoming an SEC reporting company. If you have been following crypto since 2015, 2016, you know that Grayscale was early on Bitcoin and Ethereum. They had the Bitcoin and Ethereum Trust. They were the first ones to have those funds that got converted over to the ETFs. And now they are early on Bittensor as well. And they have been talking about this for the last couple of years. And so this is definitely something very bullish. Now, what does this mean, right? The world's largest digital asset manager just filed their Form 10. They are looking to make the Bittensor Trust an SEC reporting company, similar to how it started with Bitcoin and Ethereum Trust before those became mainstream regulated products. And so this basically opens the door for pension funds, family offices, and hedge funds to get exposure to TAO in compliance with US securities laws. And so this is laying the groundwork for the future of a Bittensor ETF. Now, in addition to this, one of the other largest AI competitors here was ASI Alliance. And we just had Ocean Protocol exit the alliance. And so I think this is very bullish for Bittensor as well, as they are going to become the leader of AI in cryptocurrencies. We also have this here, Barry Silbert, which is the owner of Grayscale, that has just launched a $10 million investment to provide institutional exposure to the decentralized AI network Bittensor. And so they are going all in. Here they have just filed their Form 10. They have launched a $10 million fund. And then we have venture capitalists also talking about Bittensor. Now, this was a clip from about a year ago here where they were talking about it previously. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Most of us can kind of pile on. But the other version is much more distributed, and I'll say a dirty word here, but I think it matters. Like, it's like this Web3 model does actually apply here, where there are some really interesting early adventures in crowdsourcing technical completion. I would encourage you to look at a project that I'm starting to focus a little bit on called Bittensor. And I was like, what is this thing? And it's basically a thing where you go and solve technical problems and produce features that people require, that need, and you get paid in this underlying currency.
So you can hear there again, right? A year later, in the clip I was showing previously, they are still talking about Bittensor. And so this definitely shows there's a lot of interest in this project. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the price here and where I think this is heading. Currently at $375, the market cap's around $3.6 billion. And for being the leader of AI, I think this has much more potential. They have 128 subnets that are now live. Some of them are generating revenue as well. And so if we take a look at this with the upcoming halving here, we could see the price of this significantly increase. I could see this become a top 10 cryptocurrency. Right now, the top 10 cryptocurrency has about a $30 billion market cap. That would be Tron. That would put the price of TAO around $31.89 per token. However, I think that this token could go much higher than that. I could see this potentially reach a $100 billion market cap. That would be about a 30x from where we are today, pushing the price of one token to be around $10,000. And so there's a lot of upside potential here. I think this is definitely something that is being overlooked with what they are building. Very similar tokenomics to Bitcoin, 21 million tokens that are ever going to exist. We have the first halving coming up in less than 60 days. We have venture capitalists continuing to talk about Bittensor. We do not see them talking about Bitcoin. We do not see them talking about a lot of other projects. However, Bittensor has been their focus. And so I am definitely paying attention to this project. As I mentioned as well, we have Bittensor's subnets now that have just crossed $20 million in annualized revenue. And so we have subnets starting to generate revenue as well. And this is all built upon Bittensor. And so AI is going to continue to be an industry that continues to expand. Just look at Nvidia's stock, right? We're seeing that continue to increase. And I think that Bittensor is taking this to the next level. This is focusing on decentralization in artificial intelligence. And so if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. Also, if you're interested in purchasing Bittensor, you can check out the link underneath the video on Weex Exchange. They have many different cryptocurrencies on here as well. They have some of the subnet tokens if you're interested in purchasing those. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next video.